Yep, we got another ICE update. You're not going to want to miss this one. It's got a lot of crazy stuff, including an attempted abduction. Yeah, illegals trying to abduct people's children. Pretty crazy. And you remember that guy that was throwing rocks at ICE agents' vehicles? Yeah, we got an update on him too. With that being said, let's dive in.
We just got information from an HHS official that shows that 13,061 unaccompanied minors have actually been located under the Trump administration. And ICE, we're learning, is also arresting some of the sponsors. 442 sponsors have been arrested for involvement in suspected child abuse or other crimes are being discovered. Now, the abuse is being determined through a multifaceted investigation if they do determine that sponsor was abusing that child. Now, they're using local police, CPS, federal agencies. They're all involved, according to HHS. Now, former special agents with Homeland Security investigations have explained to us that oftentimes these kids are left behind as payment. The parent is often promised by the cartel members that they will eventually be reunited with their child in the U.S. That child, sadly, is often recycled to help single adults enter the country illegally. Now, we know that 320,000 unaccompanied minors were essentially unaccounted for under the Biden administration. The Trump administration, they campaigned on it. They've been talking about it regularly. It's a priority for them to go and find these kids, but still just a fraction, Nicole, 13,000 out of 320,000 so far.
Truly just a fraction there, Allie.
We just
13,000 out of over 300,000. Just out there somewhere. It's pretty crazy. What the Biden administration allowed to happen. Pretty wild. Absolutely wild. Check out this next clip of this leftist.
I just came across a TikTok about an ICE agent who was attacked. The dude took the ICE agent's eye. When they asked the dude why, he said they refused to see the truth. So I have marked him so we can see who's dangerous. And I mean, glitter bombs are effective, but wow. And then I started thinking about it. And if that weirdly started to trend, heaven forbid, because, you know, being paid $35 an hour to rip people from their lives to be sent overseas in custody to a country where they have no currency and no language and no way to get out, that's not chill. So social repercussions, you know. But again, I don't need evidence. Do what you will. But what if that started trending and the whole agency would be like, poor me, because they wouldn't have any eyes?
Yep. That's the loving and tolerant left for you there, you know. No surprise, because that is exactly what we're used to from the left. They claim to be loving and tolerant, but in reality, that's not the case. They're the complete opposite of that. But let's get into this abduction news.
We're talking about Fairfax County Police say 26-year-old Andres Caceres Haldin is in custody. Police credit their crime center technology for Haldin's arrest over the weekend. Investigators say he was nabbed at an extended day in Chantilly thanks to surveillance video that connected him to a stolen car he apparently used and took before the attempted abduction on Friday morning. We're told this play area is not a drop-off center, and parents and guardians are urged to stay near their children during playtime. The victim, meanwhile, is described as a female toddler who wandered away from the play area. Police say shoppers likely did not notice anything wrong. We're talking about Fairfax County.
Pretty wild. Pretty darn wild. I mean, listen, those parents, whoever the parent is, or parents, deserve to be punished as well. You just leave your child, people just leave their kids in like these areas. That's pretty crazy. Like, there's no way that doesn't even make sense. Like, you just walk away from your child, just leave them in this area while you just walk off. Like, what? Some people just don't deserve to be parents, man. I'm just saying. Do y'all feel the same way? Let me know. Maybe we need to start testing people before they're allowed to have kids. My goodness, like, this is just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Next clip.
The president is going to make it rain on ICE. A windfall of money is about to hit Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, and the agency is going to pony up the dough to recruit experienced ICE agents. The goal, of course, is to dig in on the Trump administration's sweeping deportation policy. Flush with cash from the passing of the big, beautiful bill, ICE is hoping to lure former agents back into the fold with some attractive incentives. Retired agents are telling the Post that they've been offered six-figure salaries and $50,000 in bonuses if they agree to come out of retirement. The agency has $75 billion with a B dollars in new funding, and they're trying to turn much of that into 10,000 new, or I guess technically old agents in this case. USA Jobs says that new recruits, we're talking rookies here, will make between $49,000 and $89,000 a year. So no word yet if that big, beautiful cash will find its way to the newbies with those incentives as well.
Hey, the money's pouring in, baby. If you need a job, ICE is hiring. ICE is hiring $40,000 to $80,000 a year.
Talking rookies here will make between $49,000 and $89,000.
No, excuse me, $50,000 to $90,000 a year. It's good money. Good money. You could join ICE. Hey, I'm with it. I'm with it. Anyway, here is another clip of a individual who you guys may recognize because this clip actually went pretty darn viral. Well, we got an update.
The man suspected of throwing rocks on your screen repeatedly at those federal vehicles is now under arrest. From Los Angeles, William LaJeunesse has got the follow-up. And William, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, Bill. It took a few weeks because the suspect was hiding in Mexico. But you're right, it was back in June when ICE and Border Patrol agents assembled near a Home Depot. When word spread that they were there, activists rushed to the scene and assaulted them, throwing glass bottles and chunks of cement. But I also want you to take a look at this. From inside the SUV, you can see the bricks shattering the window, right? So as they attempted to leave, this man in the motorcycle helmet, concealing his face so he doesn't want to be identified, pelted their cars from close range with concrete blocks, injuring one agent. The FBI put him on the most wanted list. Police identified the rock thrower as Elpidio Reina, 39, of Compton, now charged with assaulting a federal officer.
Anyone thinks that this guy or any other thug out there is going to stop us from doing our job, they got to think again.
So here's what happened now from inside one of those Border Patrol trucks. Reina was so proud of his actions, he even posted videos of the attack on his personal TikTok account, according to the indictment. Well, after releasing his photo, police in Mexico located Reina south of the border, and yesterday they turned him over to the Border Patrol at the port of entry in San Ysidro, handcuffed, searched. They put him into a vehicle, and he is not looking too happy there.
Oh, so you're happy to go back to your home country when you try to run from the police, but when we try to deport the illegals, which I believe he is an American citizen from Compton, so he's not necessarily deported, but he kind of deported himself, left to Mexico. But let that be a lesson to any of you folks out there who think it's a great idea to throw objects at ICE agents' vehicles. Even if you run to Mexico or some other country, they'll still come get you. Even if you try to cover your face, because he wore like a helmet in that viral video. He was wearing a helmet. So even if you try to conceal your identity, they'll find you. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Man, incredible stuff right there. Incredible stuff. Anyway, time to move on. I got so many different clips, man. I don't even know like what to play next. I'm over here just like shifting through. You know what? Here, check out this one.
Investigators say they'll never forget children drugged and tied up, taken underground into a bunker where strangers paid to abuse them.
Sometimes there would be multiple people that would come by and victimize these children on a nightly basis.
10 children so far have been identified. The youngest just 3 years old, the oldest 15. Most of them are under the age of 10, and investigators fear there are more victims and suspects still unaccounted for.
Some of them come in as they got old enough to be desirable to a pedophile, I guess. And then some of them, their victimization started out when they were younger, and then they reached the age of 10.
Investigators say the children were sexually abused in what was described as appointments paid for by offenders.
Sometimes they could make up to $1,000 a night.
And some of the people who were supposed to protect them were the ones handing them over.
Some of these people are acquaintances, some of them are family, and some of them are just people that they were able to schedule to come to the storm shelter.
Law enforcement believe this wasn't just a local crime. It was part of an organized human trafficking network, possibly linked to a violent gang. One suspect, Andres Trejo Valquez, is believed to have connections to a gang called Serenos, a group the sheriff says profits off child exploitation. His legal status in the U.S. is now under investigation.
Wherever this guy come from, we don't know what he left in his trail.
So possibly an illegal alien involved in this disgusting, absolutely disgusting ring that we had going on there that they just explained. I don't even want to talk about it. Like, that is just wild, absolutely wild stuff. How you can just send a child, and then for people to like come to mess, like, bro, what is a kid, bro? A kid. Like, something seriously has to be fucked up in your head for you to say, you know what, I'm going to go and mess with the kid instead of, like, a grown adult, a woman who's, you know, big. All right, let me stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, y'all feel me? Like, you chose a kid over a grown woman who, you know, she got the, you know, the front, the back going possibly. Obviously, you're not there up here. Some wiring got messed up. That is just ridiculous. That is just ridiculous. I'll never understand it. And all of those folks, every single one of them, including the people who were, you know, getting paid from this, they all should be given the death penalty. Every single one. The people that came to perform those disgusting acts and the people that collected the money, every single one of them gets the death penalty. That should be across the board from here on out. Anybody involved in that gets the death penalty. Guarantee you won't have it no more. You won't be having any. What was the guy's name? What was it? Hansen? Was it Hansen? The guy who had the show where they would catch people trying to go to like minors' houses and stuff. What wasn't his name? Hansen? I believe it was. Guarantee you shows like that wouldn't exist anymore if you started giving everybody who was involved in any of such thing, right, the death penalty. It would stop immediately. But there's some good news outside of that.
Just into our newsroom, ICE says the agency arrested 243 immigrants during a recent operation in the Denver metro. The agency says this operation lasted 8 days from July 12th to the 20th. They arrested people from 17 different countries. ICE claims 9 of them have gang ties, with 4 of them being accused of belonging to Tren de Aragua. ICE claims the rest have either been charged with or convicted of criminal offenses. We're working to learn more information about everyone who was involved.
Well, they're only arresting Mexicans. They're only deporting the Mexicans. Yep, but you just heard her say from 19 different countries. Not just Mexico. So that narrative just flies right out the window. Right out the window. Okay? Things are on track, though. Check it out.
Right now, ICE has deported nearly 150,000 illegal immigrants. So that means the Trump administration is on pace to deport roughly 300,000 illegals. That'd be the highest since fiscal year 2014, when there were 316,000 deportations. All right, for more, let's bring in retired Pinal County Sheriff in Arizona and law enforcement advisor for the Federation for American Immigration Reform. That would be Sheriff Mark Lamb. Well, Sheriff, you know, we've heard that privately the administration would like that deportation number for the year to be much higher, like 1 million a year. I mean, is that even possible? Because the big, beautiful bill is definitely going to provide some much needed added resources. Maybe they can get that number up even more. Sheriff, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for having me back on. Yeah, look, anything's possible, but it is a tall order. Just the logistics, just the amount of agents you have to be able to remove people. And then when you throw on top of it places like LA, which continue to get in the way, we see that now Louisville, Kentucky has said, look, we'll let you come and get them out of the jail. So I think as we see more and more communities understand that they're not going to be able to stop this, it's futile to fight against it. It's much easier if you just cooperate and let the federal government do their job. Those will be some of the key factors.
You know, I find it interesting how these Democrats aren't even smart enough to figure out, well, if you just cooperated and just let ICE pick up these folks out of your jails, things will go a whole lot smoother and they might deport less people out of your area. Because instead of being out in the public, right, and being able to just run into different illegals out there while they're trying to find these specific individuals, they could be just right at your jail, picking people up and right on out. But instead, you want to release the illegals out into the public where they're probably going to go to another illegal's place to stay that they know. And so when ICE goes in there, now they're catching everybody. It just doesn't make any sense. These Democrats, man, they just don't. The light's on, but nobody's home, you know? Anyway, so yeah, that's all I got for you today. I've got some more clips, but I'll save those for another video because some of them are a little bit longer, so I don't want to keep y'all here long. So y'all let me know your thoughts and your opinions. In my humble opinion, this is exactly what we voted for 1,000%, even though Democrat politicians are out here trying to say, Trump hoodwinked the American public. This isn't what they wanted. No, this is exactly what we wanted. Exactly what we wanted. And this big, beautiful bill being passed, I love it because it's giving more funding to ICE so more ICE agents can be hired and more people can be deported. I want Trump to have the record for deportations. I want him to take over as deporter-in-chief over Obama, which a lot of these leftists have no clue about. Kind of interesting how that works. But yeah, I want Trump to... I posted this short a while back. I want Trump to deport so many illegals that I never have to press 1 for English ever again. Y'all hit that like button for the algorithm. I would greatly appreciate it. Stay safe out there. Peace and love. I'm out.